In New Jersey, there's two types of custody, physical and legal. And they can be set up a bunch of different ways. For example, both parents can have joint legal custody, meaning both have the same say in important decisions such as the child's medical care and education. However, they can have different physical custody arrangements. For example, one party can have sole physical custody, meaning that child primarily resides with that parent and has some parenting time with the other party. Usually it's because one party might work a lot or travel for work. And in the child's best interest, it's better for that child to stay with one parent for a substantial period of time. That parent enjoys visitation time instead of substantial overnights. Another thing that can happen is the parties can have both joint legal and joint residential, meaning the child can stay 1 week with one parent, another week with another parent, or 3 days out of the week with one parent, 3 days out of the week with another parent. And the court determines if it's in the child's best interest for that kind of arrangement. Typically, when both parents live very close to one another, both parents are very involved, they have a work schedule that allows for them to exercise that kind of arrangement. So it really just depends on what's going on with both parties and what's in that best interest for that child. So best interest of the child is an analysis that the court will use when determining any type of major theme in relation to that child. And that can definitely be the center focus in determining custody, specifically as to physical or residential custody. Many factors are analyzed by the courts in determining the best interests of the child, including whether that child will be required to spend significant time on the road, getting to one parent or another, whether there are siblings with one parent and it's in the best interest of that child to spend more time being raised alongside those siblings, whether, for example, one parent lives in a better school district versus another parent, so it makes more sense in terms for that child to have a better education if primary residential custody is awarded to one parent over another. Any history of abuse of one parent with that child, it would be in the best interest of the child to remain significantly more time with the other parent, and things of that nature. So custody orders can be changed by filing a complaint with the court, and that can be done as part of a divorce in the initial proceedings. However, example, in the rare case that child custody wasn't a litigated issue during the divorce, separate action for child support and custody can be entered later on. As well as if, for example, during the divorce proceedings, there were certain factors at play, perhaps, one party's work was a certain way that prevented them from having time to have some more significant time with the child. However, now things are now different. That other person was able to secure another job that opens up their schedule more. A modification request can be made. So typically during divorce proceedings, a marriage settlement agreement or a court order will determine whether or not a child can be moved. Typically, there is a custody agreement that's created during the divorce proceedings. So if, for example, one party would like to move, usually the court must be notified and a request for modification must be made by that party and the judge must rule on it. But typically, one party is free to move if that's not going to disrupt the child's current education or it's not going to significantly disrupt the other party's entitlement to have the child. If you have absolutely any questions regarding custody in the state of New Jersey, please do give us a call at Next Chapter Family Law. We're happy to help and answer your questions.